It's the morning weather briefing. This is for Monday, the 20th of January. This is James Spann. A winter storm on the way. This will affect primarily South Alabama tomorrow and tomorrow night. And, of course, the frigid air is the big story today, but we're getting a little higher confidence in the placement of the snow and icy travel potential tomorrow. So let's dive right into it. Here's the upper air look, and whoo, boy, that just makes me cold looking at that. Long wave trough, cross-polar flow. And you know it's cold this morning. Let's check out the numbers. And again, I want to stress these are not wind chill indices. These are actual air temperatures early this morning. These were captured about 5 o'clock. I've got Haleyville at 14, Cullman, Aniana, Winfield at 16, Huntsville at 15, Birmingham 19. And these will probably keep coming down. Understand these were captured at 5 o'clock. The lows will probably come about 6:30 or 7 this morning. And look at the 20s all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Mobile, Montgomery, 25. Dothan, 27. So here's a look at the winter storm warning for tomorrow. And it's the counties in pink on this map. This is where the greatest impact will be in terms of snow. There may be some ice. In Alabama, the northern extent of the winter storm warning is Choctaw, Marengo, Dallas, Lowndes, Montgomery, Macon, and Russell counties, and counties to the south. Now, we've still got a winter storm watch for some of the central counties. This would be up to Sumter, Green, Hale, Bibb, Chilton, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Randolph. Very questionable if we see any issues there, maybe. But again, the greatest concern is going to be that part of Alabama along and south of U.S. Highway 80, south of a line from near Demopolis to Selma, Montgomery, over to south of Opelika. And the winter storm warnings extend all the way into South Texas. This will include Houston. Houston's going to see snow. New Orleans will see snow. A classic southern U.S. snowstorm. You don't see that often, kind of hugging the Gulf Coast. And obviously no thunderstorms anytime soon in the cold air. But let's jump right into it. Model fans, here we go. This is the GFS 06C run. This is the way things should look at 3 o'clock today. This is the upper air pattern. Very, very cold trough. And Alabama today, just cold and dry. We're starting off the day obviously way below freezing. The northern half of the state will likely stay below freezing all day today. They'll stay below freezing all day tomorrow. It will be sometime Wednesday before temperatures barely creep above the freezing mark. And that's one of the big stories. It's not just the snow, it's the cold, and that affects everybody in the state. So tomorrow, here we go. Snow fans, that's the GFS depiction of the winter storm on the Gulf Coast. Snow for Houston, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Hattiesburg, Laurel, up into South Alabama. So let's look at the high-resolution models, and we'll start with the HRRR. Understand these are run at 3-kilometer grid resolution, and they're typically pretty good at this range. Understand this is an event tomorrow. We're almost around 24 hours away from this. So this is tomorrow at noon. And if the HRRR is correct, the blue would be snow here. Snow pushing into southwest Alabama. So in theory, at noon tomorrow, snow should be falling at Mobile, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Fort Morgan, Dauphin Island. There could be some sleet in the mix, but mostly snow. And the snow pushing into southwest Alabama. Again, this is 12 noon tomorrow. This is 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Snow falling south of a line from near Grove Hill to Pike Road to Opelika. And you can see a very sharp northern cutoff here. And, of course, if the HRRR is correct, that really alleviates potential for problems for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, places like that Interstate 20 corridor. Again, we've said all along that's the hardest part of the forecast is defining the northern extent of the snow and accordingly the icy travel and accordingly the societal impact here. But let's look. This is just one model. Let's look at another high-resolution model. This is the high-resolution NAM, the North American Mesoscale, and whoa! And it's an outlier, but it restricts the precipitation basically to the immediate Gulf Coast, and this shows most of Alabama with nothing. And this is an outlier, and we reject that solution. I clearly think among the high-resolution models, the her has the better idea based on the pattern and what's this type of pattern has produced in the past. So this is the GFS, and understand this is a global model, so the grid resolution is not as tight as the high-resolution models, but still, it's the same idea, but the GFS is suggesting there might be a little snow north of Montgomery. And I think that's the reason the Weather Service is holding on to the winter storm watch for the counties north of US 80, just in case we get a little bit there. And we'll check the European. Again, obviously, when we're looking at these global models, this will be a different look, but it's got the same idea, the better snows across the southern part of the state, and the same thing for the Canadian. So this is the national blend of models, snow potential with this. And, of course, the blue on these maps, that's where you should see over 2 inches. And, again, at this range, we think the SREF is probably the best way to look at it, and the forecast is pretty much based on this. But look at the snow across Louisiana. They're going to see bigger snows there. And in Alabama, the better chance of getting 2 inches of snow or more would be, again, south of a line from near Grove Hill to Fort Deposit to Phoenix City. So some of the places that could see 2 to 3 inches of snow would include places like Bay Minette, Mobile, Atmore, Evergreen, Greenville, Andalusia, Enterprise, Troy, Dothan, Ozark, Eufaula. How about that? Montgomery, maybe an inch or so, inch or two. Same thing for Auburn, Opelika. And then as you work your way up toward Interstate 20, you can see the SREF is spitting out maybe a trace for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston. And the problem is with this brutally cold air in place, and having been in place since yesterday, a quarter inch of snow can foul up the roads real quick. I've seen that happen a gazillion times before here. So in terms of travel tomorrow, is Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston out of the woods? Probably, but I can't say there's no chance of snow. I just can't say that. There might be a little bit, and a little bit can cause some problems. And again, if it happens, it would be during the afternoon hours. We don't expect any problems for the morning drive tomorrow. But road conditions will be a big problem for South Alabama tomorrow and tomorrow night, and everything probably will shut down. Most schools have closed there. Some schools have closed not only tomorrow, but also on Wednesday as well down in South Alabama. But again, I know there's a lot of superintendents and education systems watching these videos and wanting to know, what do I do about tomorrow? Everybody's off today, obviously, with the holiday today. But again, I would clearly wait until this afternoon, wait until the last minute possible. But again, it just sure looks like the bulk of the snow is going to stay south of Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, where those cities might not see a single flake. And I think that's a pretty good possibility. But again, if there's just a little bit by chance, and listen, we all know that things can go wrong with any weather forecast here. We all know that. Our skill set is limited. But again, clearly the blue, that's the main problem area. In terms of ice accumulation, probably not much. Most of the models kind of agreeing this is going to be mainly a snow event, but I do think some sleet will be in the mix on the immediate Gulf Coast. So let's look at the plumes. This is the SREF plume for Birmingham, and the black line is the mean. And it's spitting out a trace, just maybe a few snowflakes around Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston. But let's look at the SREF plume for Mobile. Wow, the mean is 2 inches for Mobile. And you got some of the members up there at 4 and 5 inches. But again, you're looking for the mean here, 2 inches. So again, winter storm warning, South Alabama, tomorrow night. Precipitation should be gone by midnight tomorrow night. And then after that will be dry. This is Wednesday. Now, Wednesday morning, understand, this could be the coldest morning of all of them. We might see teens down to the Gulf Coast with a snow cover. I would suggest we'll probably see a few spots actually reaching the single digits early Wednesday morning. I noticed the NBM's got 13 for Birmingham. And then for the northern half of the state, we creep above freezing with mid, maybe upper 30s. South Alabama may be touching 40 on Wednesday, so there should be a little improvement, but where 2 inches of snow gets down, whatever moisture is there will probably refreeze. This is Thursday. Thursday morning, again, will be way below freezing. So we're in South Alabama where snow falls. Icy travel is certainly likely Wednesday morning and maybe Thursday morning as well. And then during the day, Thursday, we go up in the 40s. And hopefully that will alleviate the problems. This is Friday. Again, lows in the 20s, highs in the 40s. The weekend will be dry and warmer. This is Saturday. Now, Saturday morning, again, we start the day in the 20s, but the high Saturday should be in the 50s. And then Sunday, the next system comes in with a chance of rain for the northern third of the state. And again, that would be rain. And the high Sunday will be in the 50s. And this is a week from today. This is Monday the 27th. Big trough in the western states. And again, evidence we could see some rain for parts of North Alabama. This is a week from today. Let's keep going. This is out 10 days. This is Wednesday of next week, the 29th. Upper lows southeast of Phoenix. Zonal flow here, and we are dry with highs in the 50s. So let's look at the numbers. Temperatures, this is off the national blend of models. And again, this is for Birmingham. Of course, your number could vary. We're below freezing all day today, all day tomorrow, down to 13 Wednesday morning, which means we'll probably see some spots in the single digits. And then we creep above the freezing mark Wednesday with 38, 40s Thursday and Friday, 50s by the time the weekend gets here. And the latest long-range guidance, hey, this is for the 27th of February, January through the 2nd of February. Temperatures maybe a little above average. I think most people can celebrate that. Again, this is some of the snow flurry action we saw yesterday. This is over the Little River Canyon. I just love this video. If you've never been, you really need to go. This is up in northeast Alabama in DeKalb County. It's an amazing view that most people have not seen, but we had snow flurries yesterday with no impact. And again, we stress in Alabama we're dry today. So again, if you were just joining us on the live side, it's 5:23 on Monday, the 20th of January. Counties in pink on that map. That's your winter storm warning area, and that's where the greatest chance of problems will be tomorrow. Not today, but tomorrow. Today, just cold and dry. The winter storm warning in effect, basically for areas south of the line from near Butler to Demopolis, Selma, Montgomery, Tuskegee, Phoenix City. To the north of the pink there, the counties in blue, that's a winter storm watch, and that's in case we see a little light snow that might create some slick spots on roads as far north as Moundville, Centerville, Rockford, and Wedowee. For now, there are no watches, no warnings for Interstate 20, including Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, and points north, as the high-resolution modeling wants to keep the snow over South Alabama. And that is probably the right solution. There's going to be drier air to the north, which will limit any light snow that would fall. We have potential for 2, maybe 3 inches over much of South Alabama, including Mobile. Now, there could be some sleet in the mix. But again, this is going to be a fascinating storm to watch for our friends in South Alabama. And again, you can see the better chance of 2 inches or more. That's the blue on that map. South of the line from Grove Hill up to about Fort Deposit and Phoenix City. And for Interstate 20, again, for those of you in the population centers, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, it is a situation where we are increasingly confident the bulk of the snow will stay far to the south of there. But again, just a word of caution, if by chance this thing gets a little sideways and we get a quarter, a half inch up to Birmingham, that could really create some road problems. I don't think that happens, but it's not out of the question. And for those decision makers that are having to make calls about schools tomorrow, I would wait until this afternoon. Watch this video this afternoon, and let's see what changes here. But that will wrap it this morning. For those that are new here, we do these videos twice a day, typically about 5:15 in the morning, 2:45 in the afternoon. Weekends as necessary. We have supplementary notes over on our blog, alabamawx.com. And of course, we invite you to watch us on the television side, ABC 3340 News this evening at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous Monday. Stay warm, and God bless.